Hey everybody, Pastor Ben here. Thanks for joining me online for this lesson. In Sunday on Kids Church, we're talking about how God has given us good gifts. So we should be thankful and we should give too. And it reminds me of a story about Jesus, where Jesus was in the temple with his disciples, and back then what they would have is they would have a box. We'll use this as our box here today. It was an offering box where people would bring money into the temple and they would give. You know, we too have been called to be generous people. And so we have our box here, and as he and the disciples were standing there watching, there were people that would come in and they would give big bucks. They had lots of money to give, and they would come in, they could make a big show of it and say, hey everybody, look how much we're giving. And they would take that money and they would give it and put it inside the offering box. Now, there was another lady, though, as Jesus and the disciples were standing there, who came by and she wanted to give too. However, she was a widow. And just the way it worked back then, if you were a widow, if you were a lady on your own, you just really didn't have much of a way to make money or have a job. And so the money that she had might have even been money that was just given to her. And she just had a couple small coins, so maybe kind of like these couple of pennies here today could represent. But she too wanted to give. And so she went and she also gave one, two, and put her money into the offering box. Now, if I was a disciple there, I might have, maybe thought, that gift isn't near as much, maybe even chuckled a little bit, or maybe thought some things that wouldn't have been as nice. But I would have been wrong, because Jesus said that it wasn't about how much they were giving. In fact, he said that she's really the one that gave the most. You see, what she gave might have been, she gave from her heart, might have been everything she had. She gave, and she gave with the right heart. Whereas the other guys, the guys who gave the big bucks, they had plenty to spare. They could, their gift in God's eyes really wasn't nearly as much because they had plenty left over. They weren't really sacrificing that much. You see, it's not about how much, it's about the heart. And so we too need to be like the widow and be a generous person. Be generous during this time. We have so much to be thankful for. And it's a good thing to remember this time of year as we're in the holiday season, just having celebrated Thanksgiving. I'm thankful for what God has done for me, and I too want to be a person that can give.